How is it going, SnowZone? My name is King Snatty, as you may know, one of the admins of your group. And today I was discussing with my friend Shockwave, also another admin in the group, and he decided that we should make an article for SnowZone. And he decided to name it SnowZone Sense, which you may see as a pinned discussion if you check your discussion page. So I decided to have a go writing something for him, and he suggested an article to write. So I wrote an article, he said it was excellent, and I gave the suggestion, why don't we turn this into a YouTube series so that the content is displayed in a more interesting and in a bit more of a fun way. So I decided to create YouTube videos for the SnowZone Sense to display our articles in a more interesting manner, I guess. So with that all done and dusted, let's get started. So joining me here for our first edition of SnowZone Sense is the mastermind behind this idea, Shockwaver.
Hello!
So today we're going to be discussing 3 key points. We're going to be discussing how Valve should communicate to the community more. We're going to talk about SnowZone as a whole and also talk about recent giveaways that are starting and will be starting soon, as we've recently hit 500 members. And first thing I just got to say is thank you guys so much for supporting our group. And I know it's only been literally 13 days, but our group has expanded so fast, and hopefully one day we will get even further.
Agreed. Alright, what point should we start off on?
We will... let's go for the Valve one first. So, tell me, Shockwave, how much has Valve helped its community over the past few years?
If you look at it one way, Valve has certainly got bigger games such as CSGO and Dota to focus on a bit more, but I think Team Fortress 2, with the player count that it still has, is a big enough game for them to put a little bit more time and attention into it. I've seen in a few things that the TF2 team is actually quite small and could do with a lot more people, and it's not their fault that the game isn't progressing as much as it should be. It's more Valve's
From what I've
point of
seen,
view. Valve
has kind of neglected TF2 in a way, and it's more focused on, as you said, the bigger games. Team Fortress 2 is still quite a widely played game, as you guys will know, as this group is primarily TF2. But I believe Valve made a few mistakes along the way, such as the update in, I think it was late 2015 or early 2016, which completely put me off TF2. It made really slow matchmaking. It just fucked up the entire game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with that completely. Between the competitive aspect of the game, I really don't think competitive's getting as far as it really should. The TF2 team, bringing that up once again, has talked about developing competitive a lot more than it already is, and how they'd like to do that, but I don't really believe that TF2 as a competitive game can work.
Yeah, you could say that TF2 is way more casual. For a game such as Counter-Strike, you could see the competitive side of it more easily. And it's also quite easy to access competitive. I mean, all you just have to do is click on competitive. It will take maybe about a minute to join. You don't have to wait for teams and UGC and such to open up each month or each season. So it saves time.
Yeah, it's a good point. You can obviously see that scrolling through the competitive aspect, so I just knocked my mic. Scrolling through the competitive aspect, you can see that it's obviously a lot longer. You have to wait a good 5 to 10 minutes to find a good game on competitive. And then again, most of the time that you get it, there's someone that leaves the game, and it's quite aggravating to see that it's still being continued on without being fixed.
And even in casual, when you join in TF2, it could take up to 10 minutes just to join a server that's about to end, and then it just begins all over again. You have to wait another 10 minutes. It's just painful.
Yeah, it's a good point. We were going up the other day for a casual match. I was streaming and playing around, and obviously, I think TF2 is more of a fun-based game. It's not such a serious game, and that's a big reason why competitive isn't working. And I think pubs in themselves really need to be brought back. You've got the community servers, and they are statistically more played than casual and competitive put together. And obviously, casual is pretty big compared to competitive alone. But I think pubs were a serious part of the game, and they should really be brought back.
I agree. And as well as that, Valve has rejected many complaints and many questions asked. They have a system. You send your request via a text, and it can take up to weeks or months just to get a response, if any at all. And usually the response didn't really help those who asked. I think for Valve to improve into communicating, particularly with TF2, as it has been probably the game that has received the most complaints, that maybe for the chat forum, whatever you will call it, they could maybe incorporate more staff members into it to allow questions to be answered more quickly, perhaps within hours or even minutes, which will certainly create a happy community or a happier community, and will allow many questions to be solved and answered for them, because a lot of people are stuck waiting for very long periods of time for a really bad answer or no answer at all.
I can understand that point as to why responses should be a lot quicker. A few struggles with a few games, and Steam support, for example, hasn't just come back to me within a few days or so. I got scammed out of an unusual a year back or so, and Steam support just didn't respond to me whatsoever. Sent in a few requests. It was pretty depressing, I guess.
Yeah, same to me. With that Hyper Beast you saw in the gameplay earlier, I actually was scammed by the owner of, I guess you could say now our rival group, TF2 Empire, who actually was the precursor to SnowZone, as after the owner, who by the way is a scammer, kicked us all out, Snowy Metro rose from that and created a group, brought us all back, and here we are sitting at 522 members as of from what I last saw after only 13 days. I mean, I already said this, but thank you guys so much.
Yeah, completely agree with that. What happened at TF2 Empire, it just wasn't right. It was basically, we'll explain this to you now. Some of you members don't know. You've probably just been brought in by invite all and stuff like that. But we do want to increase that community to the administrative board relationship. But what happened at TF2 Empire was we were all a pretty big group. A while before I joined, a man called Venaflex. Yeah, 5,000 members. It was a giant group. A guy called Venaflex was the leader, and was completely corrupt and faking giveaways and things like that. So he was booted out by his successor, I guess, which was Timecow, who apparently is also not the greatest guy. But yeah, he kicked us all out of the group, did his thing, and Timecow was the one who added him back, and then decided to rebel against our group and do whatever. But I think SnowZone's growing pretty well for such a new group. I'm pretty impressed.
Doing really well. And for celebration of such a great start to SnowZone, we have been making so many giveaways. I mean, if you guys may have seen the announcements earlier, we have just started an unusual giveaway. That's right, an unusual giveaway already. It's a low tier. Please, it is a paid giveaway. However, it doesn't cost that much. The one entrance costs, I think it's 1 scrap. Is it 1 scrap?
Yep, 1 scrap. I've set up 1,000 slots, and it'll be a pick on how many slots you can fill up. I think it was 1 scrap is 1 slot, so you've got 1 chance with the scrap medal.
And
two
two
reclaimed, and
a refined is 5, a hat is 8, and a key is 30.
Yeah, so we've got a few entries already, actually, and I'm pretty pleased with that. Hopefully we'll get a few more entries tonight. As you know, time zones probably aren't the best thing, but yeah, it's not the only one. As you can see, most days we have some form of giveaway running. Memes Dank, for example, has started a few. Snowy himself started a few. I think Memes Dank still has one started going. Yeah, but we've got a few giveaways going, and that's primarily what the group is about, and we're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, and apologies to you all who joined my 1 ref giveaway, because I am quite poor. I actually had to cancel that because I'm such a tight ass. I had to get rid of that ref to sell some stuff back. but
Yeah.
you still have a chance to
Oh,
do the
well.
other giveaways.
Yeah, always.
So,
Yeah, we can move on. Yeah, to our next point. With the group as a whole, we've already sort of discussed this one, I guess. But
I think we've already discussed the 2 points. I think that's all we had to say, really.
yeah, good point.
So,
Radio that should. Yeah.
so thank you guys for tuning in to our first edition of SnowZone Sense, created by Shockwave and King Snatty. If you guys like this idea of a weekly news kind of thing, please leave a comment down below, like our video and subscribe. And if you think that we should change anything, maybe make it once every 2 weeks, or maybe even even closer together, even daily, leave a comment down below giving us suggestions. But by the way, we can't do daily. That's too hard for us.
Yeah, probably can't do daily. Like, exams are starting to take over now. That one might be a bit hard.
They are horrible. I hate exams.
Yeah, who doesn't? Alright, that should cut it out. Like you said, like the video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more content. And we'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.
Bye.